We've all heard the age old expression, if we all just chip in a little, or many hands make for light work, and we know the intended results thereof. In today's digital world, there's even a name for it, crowdfunding, where an entire world can contribute a dollar or two to help fund a worthy project, or in some cases, to help a needy family with funeral or medical expenses. With this thought in mind, think about today's reading from Matthew 15 about the feeding of the multitude. Specifically, when Jesus says, "My heart is moved with pity for the crowd, for they have been with me now for 3 days and have had nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, for fear that they may collapse on the way." We all know how the story ends. There is more food in the baskets than when they started. But how is that possible? Was the multiplying of the fish and loaves of bread a miracle of the magnitude of Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead? Or was the real miracle of the impact of Jesus' message on the multitude gathered to hear him those 3 days? Unfortunately, the reading doesn't tell us what his sermon was about. But I believe one could be safe in assuming that love and respect and concern for each other, two constants in the Gospels, were mentioned more than once by Jesus and may well have been the theme of his talk. Now consider this. After the multitude heard such a message, just imagine that when the baskets of loaves and fish were being passed, those who were wise enough to have brought more food were so moved by the message of Jesus that they decided that in addition to taking a little out of the basket, they would also put a little bit more back in, so those less fortunate could have something to eat. If true, what a miracle indeed. For rather than Jesus creating an endless supply of bread and fish, he taught the assembled multitude to love and have faith in their fellow man and woman, and convinced them that even if they shared what meager food they had with others, their own needs would still be met. And indeed, it came to pass. There was more food in the baskets in the end than before they were passed through the crowd. This same message of generosity and giving without counting the cost that Jesus gave to the multitude, as I imagine it in my reflection, is one we hear each and every day. But are we willing to share our time, talent, and treasure with the poor and the needy? Or do we think a miracle will occur and one person will miraculously appear and satisfy the needs of all those less fortunate? Are we willing to help fill the baskets at the food pantry when called upon? Share our earnings when the basket is passed in church? Or volunteer our time to help those less fortunate? Just think what a miracle it would be if, like the assembled masses on that hillside, each one of us gave a little bit more of ourselves than we expected in return. All the baskets would be overflowing. Have a blessed day.